escape a planet blockaded by a vessel designed to counter any starfighter resistance in a Pathfinder.
By the time we scrambled the reserve ties, they had broken the atmosphere. Their thrusters were exceptionally damaged. They can't have made it far. We will find them.
No, you won't. I will find them.
So, we have no means to track them through hyperspace. We shall wait for them to dock in a nearby sector and find them while they make their repairs.
You don't have means to track them through hyperspace. But I do.
The coordinates of your starship bring you to the remote desert planet of Seelos, which is a sparse landscape of salt plains and barren flats. There's a horizon which is pinpricked with sharp mountain chains, and that's about it. Pilots, your Navi computer indicates a few settlements peppered across the planet's surface, but it's not really like... We're not talking big cities or really probably anything. Nothing that... It wouldn't even look like Tatooine level of sparse, random starports like Mos Eisley. We're talking little blips of life signs kind of situation. This place is empty. It is practically devoid of anything that isn't a giant plated space worm. This area has absolutely no life signs whatsoever, and as your ship powers down with some rattles and clunks and some concerning sounds from the hull and the thrusters, which took a pretty massive beating probably only about an hour ago, I think is the travel time. North of where you land, there is a massive metallic structure. It's eroded by rust and wind and salt, and there are 3 stark pyramids, astonishingly large, just sitting alone here. Once, hundreds of years ago, it was likely something of a spectacle, but now they just stand solemn and lonely among this flat and endless salt plain. Concerningly, there does appear to be a storm building in the south with little more than like a light breeze here at the moment. It does suggest that the storm is coming this way, and it will probably be here within a few hours. This is Celos. This is kind of what you see. And these are the coordinates that were on that holocron, or not holocron, holomap. The holomap did say, however, that there is a holocron here somewhere, in amongst all of that Jedi stuff that you picked up before you left Umbara. When it comes to fixing this ship, you are going to need to go somewhere like built up. You need to hit a real starport. And basically, it costs about 500 credits per hull point, is essentially what that is. Your ship is pretty banged up, but it is functioning. So for now, so long as you don't end up flying straight into an asteroid or, you know, fly straight into another Star Destroyer or something, you should be fine. It would be very difficult for anyone to track you through hyperspace and to have figured out that you've come here. So, for all intents and purposes, you would no doubt feel like you had evaded them and that you can relax for a minute. So from this point on, it's up to you. What do you guys do?
Rugo? Are you alright?
I could use some work as well as the ship. Are we here? Are we here?
Looks like it.
We're somewhere, all right.
I've got to get Rugo sort of rolls up to all fours and then sort of shifts over toward the door, slides it open. I've got to get repairs. I've got to repair the ship. As I try to go and look at damages.
First.
There's no way we're gonna repair the ship here. We're in the middle of nowhere. So that's gonna have to wait until we go someplace else.
I think defeated on the door still open maybe, and maybe seeing this vista. I assume there's oxygen on this planet. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, it's breathable.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of planets that are not, so it's a good question.
Okay.
There are lots of planets where you can't just immediately breathe.
Just do what I did.
But it does seem, in Star Wars media in general, they only go to places where they can breathe, but there's actually quite a few where it's
Makes
just
sense.
pure toxicity. The environment is breathable. It's very hot, dry heat. There's just a scent of salt. It's a salt plain. But it isn't, it's absolutely not poisonous. If you wanted to make some repairs to the ship, you might be able to, I would give you a check that you would be able to do one of those basic mechanics checks, but you need to source stuff locally. So you need to go and find it. These are big metallic structures, so it's possible that you can go over there and find stuff that you might be able to like hack together a couple of hull points back, welding on, like just go and find a plate of metal.
You just use one of those pyramids as a thruster.
Yeah, I mean those things are absolutely like Dune levels of enormous, but
I know.
There's probably like stuff that you can use. So generally speaking, in order to truly fix this thing, you do need to go to an actual spaceport, but I will let you make once you have one check during combat, you can also make the other one. This is a homebrew rule now. There's the mechanics check you can make during a combat situation or a chase. There's an athletics check you can make, and those are the two ways that you can heal the hull during combat. And I think if you escape like you have now, but you go to just the middle of nowhere like this, if you can justify and scrabble together some stuff like sheets of metal, I'll let you make another one of those mechanics checks and see what you get, and then you can fix it that way. But to truly fix it and to truly
put money into it,
heal this ship to full health, essentially, you need to go to an actual space.
Needs to be professionally done. Yeah, I'm not a ship cleric.
Right.
Okay.
I would let you make one scrappy check.
Yeah. I feel like I've already done that though. I've put a droid.
Kind of, but that was an in-combat one. I'll let you do one out of combat.
Cool.
On a
cool. All
random
right. I
planet.
see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. And I think as I like slide the door open, I look defeated, mostly in the fact that the ship sort of needs repairs. But I think you also see me wince, and I think probably Nuada, since you're already like in context of talking about my wounds, I think you'd probably notice that as I sit back and I probably give in to the pain for a moment. And that is a dark thing to say, but that's not what I meant. I mean, like there is a moment where I think like there is a bit of a moment where he just sort of takes in the pain that he's feeling and that sensation more than trying to worry about something else. I think he looks down and as he tries to catch his breath a moment, but you notice, I think, everyone, that his breathing is shallowed, and it has probably been for a while now.
I'm definitely pulling out a med pack. Well, because I have stim pack, but I also have emergency med packs, which I don't know the mechanics of this, but it would be different. It would help with this, I think.
You've also been in hyperspace for an hour, like since the last thing that happened, or maybe longer. It's like an actual calculation that you can do, but I can't do any addition unless it's a plus.
Right,
10.
we don't have a droid yet for that.
I need one in real life. So you can justify some of that now. So let me remind myself, there is something you can do with a med pack. I don't know if anyone remembers what it actually is. I think a med pack, you make an actual medicine check, and stim packs you just use. Where did I save that? You know what, I'll just check the book. Force and Destiny Core Rule Book. And that is what we are essentially playing, by the way. Some people might be interested to know.
One may perform a medical check without penalty. It adds 1 boost die to these checks. It also has a supply of 1 stim pack per encounter.
Cool. So yeah, you need to do a medicine check, but there is a difficulty to it.
Right.
Well,
it wouldn't be a difficulty, right?
There's a difficulty to heal his...
One may perform a medical check without penalty.
To heal his crit, there is a difficulty.
Ah, okay.
To give him HP is different, which is why I need to remember how to heal, how to do any healing in the game. Completely forgotten everything. Okay. And my computer is slowing down so much it won't let me open this. So what are you doing? You're trying to heal his HPs up?
I'm just trying to... He's got a wound,
oh,
right?
My strain. Yeah, my critical, really.
Crit does need
it's not really my wounds. It's my ongoing strain damage right now. It's my critical injury needs to be filled with.
I've read it like 18 times and still can't remember what it is. And my computer's doing that thing, you know, when you're looking at a PDF and you scroll down and it doesn't do anything, and then it scrolls 46 pages, and now you're looking where you are, and you have to go all the way back, and it keeps doing that.
I can also probably Google it as well.
Okay, so your crit was, which number was it?
What number?
It was at the brink, wasn't it?
91 to 95. At the brink, yeah.
91 to 95 is a hard difficulty. Recovering.
Like.
Let's just read it. So natural rest. For each full night's rest, you will heal 1 wound regardless of your state of health. I don't think you've had a full night's rest, so we'll just move on. Medical care. A character may attempt a medicine check to help a character heal wounds. Each character may only receive 1 medicine check each encounter, as there is only so much good that first aid can do to help a character. The difficulty of the check is based on the target's current state of health. Medical check difficulties. Current wound is equal, half, or less of the wound threshold.
So, but with the critical wound, he rolled something and it told us exactly how difficult it was, so it should be on his sheet.
It's 3.
It's 3 difficulty, yep.
Okay.
I'm just doing the other one as well.
On the rule book on page 219, it says a character may attempt 1 medicine check per week per critical injury to heal the critical injury. So
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
I also have medicine. Can I do it myself? I can do it. Just do it myself.
Yeah, you simply... Someone needs to make a medicine check.
Well, you can roll it just narratively.
I've
got the
have 3
pack
green
and I'm
die.
helping you. Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
You should be the one rolling it then, for sure.
Okay, cool.
I think he gets a boost, right? If you're helping him and you're skilled in it, if you're careered in it.
I'm not skilled or careered in it, but I am using the med pack, which does grant him a boost die.
Okay.
So
So the crit wound here that you're attempting to heal is a difficulty of 3, and you have 1 boost.
So then what is this?
For
One may perform a medical check without penalty. What does that mean? Does he normally have another penalty on top of it?
No,
without using...
there are normal medical check difficult. We're doing two things at once, and it's
okay.
going to confuse the living fuck out of us as soon as we forget
That's
it.
okay.
But there are normal difficulties to health, which here I'll just print screen it and put it in our group as well. But depending for those listening as well, easy, average, hard. Current wounds equal, half, or less of the wound threshold is an easy. Current wounds more than half of the wound threshold, average. Current wounds exceed wound threshold, hard. And that's how that one goes. I'll put that in here for us for now. That's the normal medical check. And you, on a success, the target heals a number of wounds equal to the number of successes generated by the medicine roll. But this is for his critical injury.
Right.
Recovering from a critical injury with a medicine check. Character may attempt to heal his own wounds or crit with medicine. Technically, it's supposed to be increased by 2 if you do it yourself, but we'll just forget it for now because we didn't.
Okay.
In addition, attempting a medicine check without the proper equipment increases the difficulty of the check by 1. But you are successful. 3 advantages. I don't think that they do anything for you, probably just reduce the time. But with a success, you heal that crit. So I think on your sheet, you have the ability to heal the crit on that crit page.
I will. Critical injuries. I'm going to click heal. And then it deletes it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so then you won't add the cumulative
Sustained
danger.
damage. That's
constantly
amazing.
rolling higher
Okay,
on
that's
that
sweet.
crit injury list.
I used ebb and flow, so that gives me 2 black die. Can I use one of them to heal 2 strain?
Whatever you
Actually,
tell
does
me,
anybody have strain near me? Anybody have strain damage?
whatever you tell me ebb and flow does is what it does, and I just have
Yeah,
to
you're just
honor
gonna have
system
to
it
agree.
I do not.
because I'm not gonna learn. I refuse.
Yeah. Is anyone else
No,
hurting?
it's just you.
For some
If I
strain?
recall, and maybe I'm wrong with this, when we looked this up originally, we found out that ebb and flow costs a strain. Or not ebb and flow, but flipping from dark to light, the destiny, or the force power,
Right.
costs a strain.
But I heal 2
Have
now,
we been
so I
doing
can
that?
heal 1.
He has the upgraded version now. Is that what
I have
you're
the
Right, so he
upgraded
can heal
version now.
2.
Yeah, I could heal
So
2.
you can still get.
But also, I could spend both of those dots and heal everybody within short range of me.
Can you do it on? Why can you do it on a black die? I thought you couldn't use the black.
I could do it on
Pips.
2 pips, but I would flip them.
Right. Okay. But you're
It
not gonna.
costs you 2 strain.
It would cost me 1 strain, but if I rolled 2 pips, I can use them. I can't use it multiple times. I can't use both pips twice. 1 pip twice, but I can do if I see 2 dice, because that's what strength does. If I have 2, I can flip them and heal.
I think because on the page for ebb and flow, it says simply the user may spend either light side or dark side to suffer 1 strain and then inflict 1 strain on all other engaged characters. Or you
That's
may
ebb.
use the flow to spend either light side or dark side to heal 1 strain. It doesn't say that you need to spend to flip it or anything like that.
I would spend
Just says
to
you
deal it,
may
I think,
use
but if I'm
either.
healing it, I can.
But what might be interesting for Brad is to give you conflict. If you're using the dark side to do it,
Oh,
he
yeah,
gets
yeah.
you a conflict point when you're doing
Yeah,
it. But
I
it doesn't
think
say that you need
I remember it
to flip it,
being
but I
that
have
you
no idea
couldn't
what we
use the
decided.
dark side pips, like what Orcish is saying. I remember it being that you could only
Oh,
you can only
I could use
generate
the. I
your
could use the
strain on
light
the
side, I think. Yeah. That's true. Yep, you're right. I could use ebb with the dark side pips.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because you're inflicting damage on someone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, either way, my
So
critical's
you
gone. We don't have to worry about it.
when you flow, if you
Light side.
generate a light side
Yep.
pip, you heal a strain. If you don't, you don't, unless you flip it,
Mhm.
which costs it.
Unless
costs,
I'm- yeah, unless
causes
I'm
you a
flipping
strain
it.
anyway.
That's
so
super
it was
cool.
just kind of pointless,
Yep.
I guess, unless you want to do the
Hey,
thing where you heal everyone.
Unless I'm
around.
doing ebb and flow, or if I wanted to flip it, I would only heal 1.
Right.
Because right now my strain engine means I could do that, but before it was probably silly.
Yeah.
Hey, Cord,
Super cool.
Yes.
did you use 2 light side destiny pools for your roll?
Earlier?
I thought you only had 3 green in medicine and then 1 boost. And you rolled 2 yellow and a green?
Why did I have yellow?
Did you have
Oh, 'cause I have upgrades
within
in the
that?
pool from last time. Thank you. All right, you know what that means, everyone.
Well, since we're doing this, let's have Nuada roll it instead. We'll go with the
my
actual
pips are
rolls.
less. Oh, okay.
And they won't be because if you do a medical check on yourself, you increase the
Mhm.
difficulty
It'll
of the
be
medicine
5.
check by
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
Alright. So
And that will be up to 1 though, because we're not in a proper medical facility, right?
no,
So it's
because
gonna
I'm
be
using
4
a med.
difficulty.
No,
I'm
that's
using
what
a
the
med
medicine
pack. Yeah, that's what the med pack is
doing.
for.
Oh, okay.
It removes that difficulty.
I like
Okay,
this.
so I'm rolling this, but what is the... Oops. Okay.
The difficulty is
3, I think you said, right?
3, and you have 1 blue die. Three difficulty. 2 threats. Inflict strain on the target due to the shock of the procedure. That sounds good. How is it
Or
that this
increase
just...
the time it takes. I think it would be both of those things, because it's 2 threat, right?
Yeah, maybe this was happening on the flight over.
Yeah.
Um,
And now I'm just kind of trying to help
you're like
patch up
trying to
the mess I made.
help him, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. So someone else can do it, right? So what's the rules? You can't use another
No, 'cause
medicine
he's
check?
only-
Oh, that's showing up.
He
Oh,
can only
crap,
do
that's
it
showing
once per week for his wound. So
up.
if
Add
it's...
my old one back.
Wow, yeah, you got to add your old one back, which was a 91.
91.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if somebody's got a better medicine check, they should be the one to do it, because he only gets to do this once
it
per
wasn't
week.
91.
And
Oh, look it up.
what about actual wounds? Is anyone actual wounded?
I am.
I am.
And what do you guys want to do about that? Stim pack
Well,
or attempt the actual medicine checks?
I don't think it's anything that I can't live with for the time being. I don't think. I think it's maybe just like shoulder is. He's old, Hop's old, so shoulders feeling a little stiff because he got maybe grazed or something on there. And
what's the medicine check for that? For wounds? Is it the same?
It depends on what your current wounds are.
5
So-
out of 12.
5 out of 12
Easy.
is current wounds equal half or less of the wound threshold is easy. Current wounds more than half of the threshold is average. And if it exceeds, it's
So
3. So
is
this
it 1
easy.
difficulty?
1
But
difficulty.
you can't do it to yourself. Someone has to do it to you, or it's +2 difficulty.
Yeah.
No, but isn't that
So
just
that might
for
only be a
criticals?
crit. Hold on. A character may
Yeah,
attempt to
I
heal his
don't
own wounds.
I think that's
No,
for
it's
all
both.
wounds,
It's
is
both.
it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Someone else you have to heal each other.
Yeah, I think this is all happening while we're in
Transit.
Yeah, I'm
flight.
probably on the land here. or
So
something,
I
maybe.
would assist New Order if she, I would try to help patch her up with
Okay.
whatever.
All right, so you've got 1 difficulty and 1 boost die.
What's the boost die from?
The med
From the
pack.
med pack.
Med pack gives a boost. Okay.
Wow. 2 fails. That doesn't mean you take 2 damage. I don't think.
So, how much strain can I reduce from?
4.
I don't
Alright.
have strain, I have wounds.
Perfect. So I do nothing.
So medicine checks
That's
heal
insane to me.
equal to the number of successes of wounds, and heal an amount of strain equal to the number of advantages.
Perfect.
And how often can we do medicine checks for wounds? Is that in there? Let me see.
1
I have
medicine
it
check per
open.
week per crit.
Per week.
So I think you can. I guess this is unlimited, but like that seems broken. So each character may receive 1 medicine check each encounter, as there is only so much good that a first aid. So this is during the encounter.
That's
So outside of
Encounter or scene, maybe.
it, yeah, we'll say scene.
Right.
I do have
So-
some other stuff on medicine that I saved when I was learning, and I'll see if it says anything else. All right. Anyone else wants to make any other checks? Now is the time.
Not while we're in flight, no. Once we get there, I have some things I'd like to do.
We're here, aren't we?
Yeah, we're there now.
And then we
Right.
land. And
Yeah.
then we
While
skip
we're
to where
doing
we
the
were.
medicine checks and the
Yep.
past,
Fast
so-
forward to me on the ground,
Mhm.
whining still.
So
Door open, pillars in front, or pyramids in front of us.
yeah.
Now, does anybody want?
Now, so everyone, I guess, just take the one wound heal. Everyone heal up one wound.
Okay.
For the rest, we'll treat it like a D&D short rest because I'm a good guy GM. I'm a bad
Thank you,
guy real life.
Brad.
Alright.
And yeah, you've come down now. You've landed on this planet. There are these giant metallic pyramids. This is the location of the coordinates that Jay sent you to from the Jedi Holo map. And air breathable. The ship's vaguely fine. The ship is functioning.
We're in the middle. There's nothing around except for these three structures, and how close are we to them?
As close as you want to be. You landed the ship.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, like, I would say maybe 50, 75 meters, not very far at all.
Yeah.
And I would probably see the storm on my sensors as we were landing. So I would like to land on the leeward side of the whichever way the storm is coming. That might help shelter the ship a little bit.
Okay.
And then I would turn to Hop and say, "Could you wait outside for a minute? We have to have a conversation."
I'm actually comfortable. How about I wait here and you three go outside?
How often do you, on a weekly basis, get punched in your mouth? I'm just curious.
Not often. I'm usually the one doing the punching first.
Right, I assume you would.
All right, fine. I'll go outside and Hop, like, in the slowest possible way, gets up out of his chair, makes those old man grumble sounds, and just kind of moseys on over and looks at the damage, kind of takes it all in of the ship and opens up the door, pops out, and I think you would hear him in the background kind of yelling, "Well, it looks like we needed this ship after all, or this droid after all." And he kind of just watches, looks at the makeshift thruster.
I close the door behind him. And I approach New Order and Ruger, and I say, "Right, well, what are we going to do about him?"
I don't know. What are we gonna do about us?
Should
Oh,
we
we
talk about the
got
elephant in the
away.
room?
What? Go on.
Which one?
Both, I suppose.
I trust him.
You trust him. We've known him for a half a day.
I know.
I was
I
more
know it sounds
discussing
weird, but-
where do we want to leave him.
Oh. Right.
Someplace remote where he cannot immediately contact.
What if we don't want to leave him?
This has helped us a lot.
He's helped himself. We were just there, useful to him.
Lock eyes with Dax. for a moment, and then he breaks eye contact. I don't know, but he could fly, right?
He can fly.
Then why don't we give him? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think.
It's not about his uses. It's about trust. We are. Everyone wants to catch us.
Right.
We cannot trust anyone. They're all
Right.
out to
If
get
he's
us.
some sort of collector about all these artifacts and things, then maybe we are just artifacts to him. You know. Nuada, are you feeling anything with him? Like, does
No.
he give you any
Not at all.
read or anything? I don't know. I really don't know. The good news is we have a lot of time, it seems, as I maybe just wipe the probably grungy porthole of the door and look out toward him and also Seelo. And it looks like we have some time and some solace to figure it out.
Okay. Well, I suppose while he's not around, we should have a look at this. And I pull out the holocron that we got from the little cache. And can I activate it?
The holocron in the stash, yes. Let's see if you can just activate it. Where did I put the thing? Yeah, someone who wants to. You can activate this in two ways. You can either interface with it using the Force, or you can make me a computers check. And you know what? I'll allow a mechanics check as well.
I suppose I just use the Force.
All right. Roll me a plain Force die.
Can I help?
I don't think so. No. This is just whoever is.
Oops, those weren't supposed to be on there, but it is a dark side. Yep.
Okay.
What's not supposed to be on there?
The other
We
dice.
re-roll anyway,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And re-roll it. You know the rules.
Know the rolls, I guess.
When it clearly gives us an advantage.
Yep.
Hey.
Two light sides.
Otherwise, I would have been healed by now. Hey, look at that.
What do we see here when you do this? Because I don't know if we've
I
really
use-
seen you do any Force stuff. I don't know what
I
it
have.
looks like.
I have once. I think I'm holding the object in one hand, and I expect that because this is a Jedi artifact that it's going to require me to use Force. So I knew when I pull it out, I knew what I was going to be doing. And I just sort of reach into that place in my mind that I've been trained to, and I put my hand up to it and I just concentrate. Probably doesn't take very long, maybe
Careful.
4 or 5 seconds,
Yeah.
and then it opens.
And then yeah, you're able to interface with this. You can use the Force to find the secret mechanisms that are within this thing, probably through something that you were taught. And you interface with this holocron and you activate it. This is a new holocron. This isn't like an ancient thing that, like you discover in an old tomb or anything like that. This has got like the sense of this thing is like a new, fresh looking holocron, and once you activate this, there is a flickering of blue, and you see a very familiar Jedi master, and you hear,
"This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place.
Bro,
This
shut the
message
fuck
is a
up.
warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed, and our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere, and in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you. Always."
and it locks itself again.
That was amazing. Sorry.
I think this is the moment that I realized my master is probably dead. I put the holocron away and I say, "You're alone now. It's just us. And there's no one else that's gonna save us. They're not coming to help. There's nowhere to go.
There's also Obi-Wan. Master Kenobi.
We'll never find him.
You don't know that.
He may find us.
He could be dead by now.
Of course he could be dead,
but
but
he could also be alive. You don't know.
Are you listening to a different message?
No.
Jedi have fallen. There is nothing left. We cannot trust this man that we met yesterday.
You cannot.
That's right.
Hop knocks at the door. Hear like a clang, clang, clang.
a moment.
All right. Just reminder. There's
How did it look out there?
Stormy.
Right.
Little chilly. When you all done voting, just let me know.
How is it? Is it nighttime or is it day?
Daytime.
See, he's even lying about how cold it is outside. It's a desert planet. It's not chilly out there. You can't trust him for anything.
It's a joke.
I technically said it's getting chilly. Sorry.
He can hear us.
There's a storm approaching. Mr. Wayne.
Right. Well, I don't.
We should probably
Just
talk
let him in and
about
we
trust.
talk.
Dax.
We need to talk about, does he know who we are? I think he does. Do I, out of character, do I know that he knows New Order can use the
Oh,
Force? Did we ever discuss that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I did it in front of everybody, and you were standing right next to him. So if
Oh,
you saw
yeah,
me do
yeah,
it,
yeah. We were
you
all here.
probably saw.
Yeah, you launched.
And,
yeah, you dropped
and
the big
Hop
doors.
definitely has been kind of flaunting that a little bit.
Yeah.
Hop also seems to
Yeah.
understand what the Force is and what the Jedi can do.
Yes,
it's not as
exactly.
insane
It's very strange.
As like late staged Star Wars media stuff, because there was a big war, and so he's you've just like you're 6 months out of High Republic, fucking, stuff. Jedi are still really rare, but yeah, he seems to be aware of everything that you
So
are doing.
I would instead say he knows who we are. And I'm willing to bet the reason why he's been making those jokes and things about what you did is because he's had run-ins with the Jedi before. Why do you think that's true? Probably because he was on the other side. Probably has no love for Jedi. In fact, he's probably used to running away from him.
But we don't know that. If he says it, then yes. But he hasn't said any of that. We have nothing to base that off of except your assumption.
Right.
We could ask him this, and then we'll have
could.
more. I think that's a better idea, and also we'll get him out of the storm. It does look like it's getting pretty bad. I'm gonna take him the strain.
But if we also have something we need to do here, right?
Well, yes and no.
Well, clearly we're meant to go in there, and I don't think that if we go in there, and what are we going to tell him?
We're not meant to go anywhere if we have fallen, Dax. You just said the Jedi Order has fallen. You just gave up all hope. Right after the holocron, and Master Kenobi said to not give up hope. And you did. You said we've fallen. The Jedi have fallen. And now you're saying that we are meant to go in there and get a holocron. Dax, what are your feelings right now? Are we meant to do anything right now?
There for a purpose.
We don't have a purpose if we've fallen. If the Jedi have fallen, then we haven't.
Can I finish?
You're not making
There's something
sense.
in there that they want us to get, right? That means there's something in there that we can use to survive. It's not about doing what they want. It's about doing what we can to survive. And if they want us to go in there for something, that means there's something we can use. It's as simple as that.
Who is they? If it's just us, then who is they?
The Jedi, they want us to go in there, or they did want us to go in there, right? At some point, someone is leading us here.
It's just not making any sense. You just opened up by saying that we have all
you hit your
fallen.
hand.
I didn't. I understand.
They can want something in the past, and it still be something that can guide us now to get us help. They've fallen. They are not out there to protect us anymore. But they've left us these things, showing us places to go.
Dax, you're talking about the Force. If the Force wants us to do this stuff, then yes, let's do it. But if you are explaining that the Jedi have fallen and they are nothing anymore and we need to think for ourselves, then so be it. But the Force is still guiding us either toward these holocrons or we will stay here for our own safety.
It's also not all right for you to put Rugo down by saying perhaps you hit your head when he disagrees with you. He could just disagree with you. You could also not be communicating properly.
Or he hit his hand. They're all viable possibilities. Do you agree?
I don't know if I hit my head, though.
There's no reason for you to put him down if he disagrees with you.
Is it putting someone down if they're injured?
Because you
Then I slide
dismissively
open the
said,
door.
perhaps you hit your head. As a way to dismiss his argument.
His argument didn't make any sense.
Well, neither does yours, according to him.
Because he hit his hand. Clearly. Thank you for proving my point.
He could just disagree with you.
Dax, I didn't hit my head. If you saw and watched anything that wasn't inside of your own mind and your own perspective, you would have known what happened. I was shot.
I think we need to talk about that. I think we need to talk about trust, and I think we need to talk about how you seem to think you are right all the time, and you can't be wrong. And if you are wrong, or if someone disagrees with you, then there's something wrong with them. They can't just simply disagree with you. That's a problem.
Hop already, Hop.
No, I don't think we are. I think we need to talk.
Never mind. Never mind, Hop, sorry.
Oh,
And I struggle to close the door again.
Dax, Rugo and I have done everything you asked or told us to do.
That's not true.
From...
But continue.
We did everything you told us to do. Without question. When we first arrived. We trusted that you knew what was best. But you don't do the same thing for us in return.
Well, excuse me if I've got a little more experience in this sort of thing.
Which is why we trusted you when we first got here. But when it comes to something we might have more experience in, you dismiss it.
Right.
Like
That's what I mean by you don't extend the same trust in return.
What situation are you speaking of? Where you have more experience than I do? If it was about politics, I would take a step back, as I've always done. I don't know anything about that. But that's not what happened. We've consistently been in situations where it's about staying cautious and staying silent and staying unfound. And lately, the past day or so, you've been questioning everything I've been saying. Why? What's changed?
That's a good question.
Clang, 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 clang.
I'm gonna let him in.
Fine.
Storm's coming. I can't let him be.
Yeah.
Then I open the door.
I thought you guys were going to leave me for a minute there. Ooh. Ooh. What I
So
miss?
I hope.
It's fine. No, just kidding. Joke. Ha 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 ha.
What do you know of the Jedi?
What do I know of the Jedi? I know I haven't seen one in quite some time. I know they use the Force. Or do you anything
Do you
more
remember the last
specific?
one you saw?
Hop looks at the ground, and he kind of sees through, like, the base of the ship, like almost just like looking right through it, almost into nothing. And I remember the last time I saw one.
What happened?
She died. She was killed. Right in front of me.
I'd like to use the Force, please.
Okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
assume you're using 4C.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I use it that way? Can I use it backwards? Or no?
What do you mean?
Foresaw.
Yeah.
You're trying,
Hey, 4C.
Trying to get insight on what he's talking about right now.
as in you're trying to see if he's telling the truth, or you're trying to see this memory?
Both?
Or
Or just, what he's feeling about it, I guess.
yeah, that's a different sort of set of abilities, I think, but I think it's fair to give you a pop. So give me a 4C
Alright.
check.
Difficulty?
You just have to roll it. You just have to
Okay.
generate a white pip. To dark side.
I'll take a conflict
Flip one.
and flip that.
I'm just gonna let Hop decide. This is a success though, so she texts this. So I think I'll double check in a minute, but I think that there is a different set of abilities that would let somebody read your mind and would let you read emotions. But I think this is more of a divining kind of situation here. But I think that this is a connection with the Force, and I think she does have a success. So I think it's up to you. I think I'll let you determine what she might gain from the Force.
She might gain. Sincerity, I think, on this one. As in a weird form of sadness. Like, not like it's grieving, but it feels different a little bit. It's
Ooh, is there an inkling of responsibility or guilt?
not for that, no.
Well, you don't have to tell me for that. I just,
No.
what am I feeling? Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that. It's just, it's sadness. It's a little bit of grief, but it feels like off a little bit, I think.
Okay.
And Hop kind of, he hasn't really been wearing it. He's kind of been having it more on his side, but that same cloth that you saw back at Jarlene's place, he kind of like plays with it a little bit in his fingers, almost like a tick, almost like a nervous tick, like a habit. And then he realizes he's doing it, and he just kind of tucks it back away. Yeah, it wasn't, it was horrifying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you didn't do it. I don't know what you're sorry about. When was the last
Sorry
time
it happened?
you all saw any Jedi?
It's a good question.
I would wager it's probably the same time I last saw one.
Likely.
Six months.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All these
And,
things, these artifacts, did they belong to her?
No, I don't think so. It was, I'm not collecting them for her. Forget her.
Why are you collecting them?
Make sure they don't. Simple as that.
Make sure they don't collect them?
The Empire.
To keep them safe.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know what they would do with it. Burn them. Destroy them. The one in your hands, pretty new. That could have intel. That could put a lot of people in danger. Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe it's a recipe for foaming blue milk, for all I know.
How many more of these do you have?
That was the first one that I've gotten a sniff of. Which is why it's important. And imagine my surprise when within a day, not even, of meeting you three, we are now in possession of two and a third right outside. And he kind of like takes out the holo map and is just kind of like, and puts it back in his jacket. It's important the Empire doesn't get this.
On that we can agree.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say why you were there when you saw this Jedi fall?
Why I was there? Well, sure, since we're all being so open and honest. And gives a real big smile at Dax. Sure. Although I suspect this is going to count against me, but for the interest of trust. Here we go.
Ruga looks over at Nuada.
Well, it wasn't a happy reunion, I'll tell you that much, but I was doing a job, and the job went a little sideways. If you're asking if I killed her, no. Absolutely
No,
not.
Were you arrested by her?
Well, she didn't have a chance to arrest me.
But she was going to.
She stopped me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Doing what?
standard. It seems so trivial and dumb in the grand scheme of everything, but it was a well-paying job. Got from Jarlene. Surely you wouldn't hold that against me, would you?
Don't hold it against you.
Certainly doesn't feel that way.
That doesn't mean that it helps me trust you more. I know the type that gets jobs from Jarlene.
Yeah, me too. And he looks directly at Dax.
Right, I don't have to worry about trusting myself though, do I?
Do you, though? You seem like the type that maybe you don't trust yourself so much, too.
I trust myself just fine. Thank you.
All right. No jokes. I got it. All right. You don't even trust your two friends over here. And if you
trust
do,
them
you got a
fine.
funny way of showing it.
Oh, that's how you do it, right?
That's how I do
You
what?
pick away at us and our relationships until you can worm yourself in. I've seen your type before.
Have you?
I have.
All right. If you say so.
You're a credit a dozen,
Shit.
and you're all over.
I highly doubt that, but all right, if you say so. If you say so. Anyone else want to ask any more questions while I'm feeling so open and honest and in a warm embrace of trust?
So you're a smuggler.
Sure. Smuggler, thief.
Just whatever you could. Understand that.
You need to get by. You understand
I
that.
don't blame you for that. You
Seems
can
like you
do
do.
whatever you want. I just
Yeah.
don't want you anywhere near me and mine.
Why?
Because
Seems like
I
we have-
know you're tempted.
Tempted for what?
You know what she has. I know you're
Yeah.
tempted to make the call and get the reward. I know you are.
Have you not been listening to a word I've been saying this entire time, kid?
He's not very good at that.
Nah, it doesn't seem like it.
I don't think hanging
I
up
like
on him
money,
is a
I
good
like-
idea either.
Words are just that. Actions are different.
And what have I done action-wise that would lead you to not trust me so?
Nothing yet, but I've just met you. You don't just trust everyone you first meet, do you?
No, you don't. That's right.
So words are nothing but that.
You all did a vote while I was out there, didn't you?
No,
No?
actually.
No? Wow. I thought for sure there was going to be a vote to leave me stranded or kill me or something.
What would you do?
What would I do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that
Honestly.
you're not me. I'll put it that way right now.
Why's that?
Why? Because Whisper over here has it exactly right in terms of who you should trust and who you shouldn't trust. I could tell you till I'm blue in the face that I'm not going to turn any of you in. And all you have to go off of. Why would
you turn us in?
Well, he seems to think there's a bounty on each of your heads. I'm not a bounty hunter.
That's
You were implying that pretty heavily.
30,000. Something like that.
On her, because you know she can use the Force.
Right, but you're also collaborators too, right?
Aye.
So, quite a bit of credits there, but
Sure.
I'm not interested in that.
What are you interested in?
A holocron.
Preservation.
Besides that.
Right. You're just, you're out here trying to save people. It certainly isn't that you want the holocrons to sell it to the highest bidder, because that's also very valuable.
Do you know what kind of trouble selling a holocron would get me into? Anyone?
Why don't you tell us?
You think the Empire goes around picking up holocrons, picking up laser swords, picking up robes, whatever, and handing out credits saying, "Thank you, citizen, job well done"? I don't think so. That's not how rats do that. That's not how they conduct business. You give it to whatever officer, soldier, whatever, trooper. They take it, they shoot you. Make sure you're dead. And then they get the prestige and the credits that were yours.
I am sure there's no way you could work out a deal to get some money from some officer, but let's say you're right. Let's say there is no way that you could sell it to the Empire. You and I both know we're in the Outer Rim. There's plenty of people out here that got nothing to do with the Empire that would buy that off you.
For someone who doesn't trust a whole lot of people, you trust the shadows an awful lot, don't you?
I don't.
You just did.
Exactly.
Black market, whatever you want to call it. You're assuming that they're not going to turn you over for a larger credit, larger payout, larger whatever favor.
What? Oh, in this hypothetical where you are selling this holocron?
But I'm
sure
not
you have
selling. This is
contacts to
your
do that.
hypothetical. I have no plans on selling these.
Being the key word.
Right.
What did you say?
But we should all agree that there is a way to sell the holocrons, I'm sure. Maybe it's not a way that you have, but we just have to take your word that there isn't a way that you could sell it, right?
I guess you would, yeah.
Right. So more words.
More words. What? That's all I got. Look at me. I got my blaster. I got my words.
I know that's all you have.
Is that all you have? No friends? No organization or anything?
Are you saying this whole time you never looked up how to potentially sell one, Dax? A holocron?
I looked up. I have ideas on how we could if we needed
Man's got
money.
ideas. Are you gonna sell it? I assumed he... Now, what are you gonna do with the holocrons?
That's none of your concern.
Oh, it's my concern now. If you're gonna hand it over to them, we're gonna have a big problem.
Preservation. Just like you.
We don't have to tell him anything. There's 3 of us and 1 of him.
We want to.
And I don't have to. I also don't have to listen to you, Dax.
That's right. You don't have to listen to anything he says. You do what
Never
you feel
said
is
you
right.
did, Rugo.
It seems like you did.
You kind of give off that.
Preservation.
Preservation. Okay.
We're in the same market, it looks like.
That makes me feel a little better. And then he looks up at Dax and says, "See how easy that was? Little trust." Not saying you have to jump in front of, I don't know, any sort of danger in front of anyone, any strangers, but a little bit of trust after we've been through 2, 3 near-death situations together.
Is there anything on your ship back in Umbara that we need?
No. Never leave anything behind that you're not willing to part with.
All right.
Rule number 3.
Right.
Well, maybe rule number 1A, because rule 1 was don't draw attachments. But if you have to have an attachment, don't leave it. Don't leave it anywhere. You ain't gonna get it later, especially a planet where you're heavily wanted.
Right.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. Obedience can be taken. Trust must be given. Really.
Yeah. Hop looks really uneasy. And kind of bites his lip a little bit, and he's fighting with himself. Looks at the group. What can I do to gain your trust? Short of
Action.
leaving me stranded on this planet and you all fly away to safety.
That's not gonna happen.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to earn it a little at a time, both ways.
I agree.
So what do we do now?
We can find a safe place to leave him. It doesn't have to be here.
I don't want to leave him.
Why?
Preservation.
You want to keep stranger with us?
It doesn't have
Yes.
to be a stranger.
Stranger's got a name.
I don't trust him
the
either.
Potential
but I'm
benefit
starting to.
outweighs the risk. And if it starts to go in the other direction, I'll deal with it then.
Look at how old he is and his line of work. He doesn't do anything without knowing for sure he's going to get out alive. So if he did betray us,
Perfect.
we wouldn't have a chance to stop him.
I disagree.
I'd like to see him try.
Like you
Right.
said,
I
there's
wouldn't
3
like
of
to
us.
try if it means anything. I'm kind of hoping we don't have to resort to violence personally. Or any
This experience would be useful, is what I'm saying.
I've been trained not to resort to violence unless it's absolutely necessary.
That's right. That's right. Usually y'all are violence is the last thing.
What do you mean, y'all?
Now potentially extinct Jedi. The universal Jedi.
I never said I was a Jedi.
I'm not saying you. I'm talking about her and the Jedi order that she came from in general. Now I was 84% before Rugo. Now I'm getting up into the 90s. Pretty sure.
But for what?
You got some sort of Force Jedi mumbo jumbo.
It's not mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, I suppose it's not. Yeah.
Well, there's a holocron just outside. We should probably wait for the storm, I guess, yes? Once it blows through...
The storm
trying
is
to
still a
make-
couple hours away according to the sensors.
Oh.
Do you think we could?
Oh, then we could leave Hop back outside then. We've got a couple hours outside out.
Or we could not, and we could go in
I
before
was
the storm hits.
trying to joke.
Sorry.
But yes, we could try that. I may stay here. I'm really tired. Give me a moment. If we do go, I need to just get ready. As he sort of crawls over towards his armor.
I will help.
Yeah, I think Hop would also kind of like hold like, or maybe a random piece of armor or something that's just kind of being littered about, just like offering it, you know, like trying to help in any way. It's kind of awkward because it's not really much help, but
Max is leaning back against just like a console or whatever, and his rifle is slung over his shoulder, but it's in his hands as well. Like the strap is over his shoulder, but his rifle's in his hands, and he is watching Hop.
Hop's blaster is completely like buttoned in, safe, not even ready to be shot. And he's not even paying attention. Like maybe you get the feeling that he knows that you're doing that, but he's not letting it. He's not like acting any different.
Yeah. You alright?
I'll be alright.
Take it slow. Take it slow.
I think it. I'm trying.
The thrusters was very good.
Yeah,
So-
that was some
He
thinking
saved
out
us.
there. Have you seen that, Dax?
Well,
He fixed the thruster.
I wouldn't call it
What's
fixed,
it?
but
I mean, it's got the job done.
We
I'm
wouldn't have
glad I
been
could
able
help.
to without that, I don't think. So
Dax
well done.
sort of walks over to the window, I guess, and looks out.
you see
There
a
is a
charred
moment
R2
of
unit.
absolute shock on his face, but I don't know if anyone sees it because he's looking out the window. And
I'm
then
just
he
waiting for his reaction.
turns around and nods at Rugo and sort of, you know, pats him on the shoulder and is like, good job, that was, you know,
Thanks.
that might have done us in.
I thought so. Thank you.
I am looking at Rugo. My eyes are wide. I totally expected him to be like, you used the chassis of the only droid we have, blah, 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 negative Nancy. I am like floored, but very happy. Very happy that that was his reaction. Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm probably a bit surprised too. But I can be ready.
Right, I think we should also, we've got to figure out a way to get that thing replaced proper as soon as
Of
possible,
course,
right?
yes.
Because we need an astrogation
If we
droid.
find a thruster inside this
Gonna have
temple or
to-
whatever this may be, then I'll take it.
Yeah,
Please
if
let
we
me
find
know.
some scrap. You keep on the lookout for that, and we'll try to
course.
grab it if we can. Right, okay. Right, well,
So are we going then?
we might as well. We're here.
It's either we wait for
Uh,
the storm to blow over or we go now.
I
All right,
think we could,
with either.
assuming
how-
it's inside one of the pyramids, then if we go now, we'll be inside when the storm hits. And Dax,
Mm-hmm.
there is 3 of us, like you said.
Right. Which
We're
is
not
why...
completely incapable. Hold on. Let me finish. If Hop betrays us or becomes a problem, and I don't lock my eyes from you, we will take care of it then.
Hop doesn't plan on betraying anyone, just so we got the record clear. Yes,
Yeah,
words and such, but
I believe you, for what it's worth.
mm-hmm. I'm just gonna stick back here with my new best friend Rugo, if that's all the same.
There's no way to use force sense to like figure out malice or anything like that without an ability, correct?
Right, yeah, there
It's
is
like emotion sensing, yeah.
there is an ability that allows you to sense sentient
right back.
creatures,
Detect magic.
dispositions and stuff.
Right.
If he was like extremely evil, you'd potentially, one of you would be able to pick up on it. Especially if he was an evil force user. In the way that Rugo is a paragon,
Right.
anyone who is force sensitive can just immediately know that about Rugo. Kind of, he's just, he's like glowing.
Right.
So you would need the I just looked it up and immediately forgot it, but there's like there's a sense ability that allows you to do that.
I don't have it.
Yeah, but you can use, like, I'm assuming I would be able to use some sort of God, what
you can use
fucking skill is it?
perception and flavor it.
Yeah,
right?
and like, we don't need to use the force to do it. We can just use our
you
own
still have-
instinct,
yeah,
whatever
you-
that might
We
be.
also have that spell wind die, that
You
force
still
that we
have
can just
Yeah.
sort of
you
Like presence, I bet I could
you
use.
have normal insights that you
Can
can
I roll for that actually, Brad?
potentially use.
What would
Yeah,
be
and
my insight?
I think insight.
And then
was-
could you use a force die on insight? And would that call it? I don't know. I don't know if that's
No,
mechanic.
because there's an ability that allows you to do it. It
Okay.
kind of robs that
For sure.
ability of its purpose. So I don't tend
I
to.
feel
do
honored that you would waste a force dice on me.
I think just like a good old, like, perception, motivation, instinct,
Yeah, I think it's discipline.
Your
Hold on,
skill,
let me
Brad.
remember. What?
whatever your fucking nat 20 insight skill
Nat
is.
20 insight. Yeah, there isn't an insight check in this, and I'm pretty sure it's discipline in this because it's which is weird. to
Perception
me.
is not it?
Yeah, apparently not. This is always one I have to
Perception would be
Google.
like your eyeballs, I think.
Perception is literally your eyeballs.
Yeah, I think perception's eyeballs. It would either be presence or discipline, which is will or
What about
presence.
not vigilance? Vigilance is for initiative.
What is the skill used for?
I mean, vigilance could be
Insight.
argued to do
Depends
it,
on
I
the
think.
nature and subject of what might be a potential lie. So this is to detect honesty within someone. By default, as the chart says, discipline is reading people. But negotiation or knowledge might be justified or even streetwise depending on the circumstances. So I think that's all fair. I think for this one, we need to remember this. We should write it down somewhere. In fact, I'm going to write it down somewhere right now. I'm just going to copy paste that. So let's go with depending on the situation, the general insight check, if you're just making a general insight check, it's discipline to read someone. But under different circumstances, it might be negotiation, knowledge, or streetwise. And I think you can all make any of those checks. I think any of you can make me a discipline, negotiation, or one of the knowledge checks, or a streetwise check at a difficulty of, and I'm just going to go ahead and say Hop's probably pretty good at this. So let's go with a difficulty of 3. But he's also being quite honest today, so I'm going to knock that down to a 2.
I will make a streetwise check.
Depending on the
As
check
that
you make,
is-
it might affect how I give you an answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
You order 2 successes on a discipline.
Needs to be the right pool. I don't want to roll.
Dax,
Okay, cool.
2 successes and a triumph on streetwise. And Rugo, 1 success
Get wrecked, Hop.
on discipline.
You about to get read like a book.
About to get
I'm
read
also gonna
like a book.
heal myself.
And you can heal a
Good
strain.
God.
So let's go with the
2
2
strain.
discipline boys first.
Dad's gonna read you up and down and get your epilogue.
Yeah.
Does
The,
anyone need strain while I'm looking at this?
Need strain.
You need to strain
Yep.
healing.
Anyone need a heal to
No,
strain?
I don't need a heal strain now.
Okay, I'm gonna keep asking because it's gonna be cool when that happens.
You need that more than anyone.
No, I
Thank
heal
you for
everybody
this.
in short range. I AOE on
should
it
just-
too.
Oh right, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I healed
The
Thank
two
you.
of you that rolled discipline, Rugo and Nuada, you got 2 successes, 3 successes, and then a threat and an advantage. So, it actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this for you, Greg. And he has been truthful as far as you can tell. He doesn't seem like he's lying, but he does seem extremely guarded. I think it's not necessarily like it feels like he's being dishonest with you, but I definitely think you get the sense that he has lived a life of perpetually almost masking up to just make sure it's almost like a survival thing. Rugo, with your threat, I might say that you find that to be maybe a little more disconcerting than Nuada, and Nuada with your advantage, I think you get the sense that he has really just been trying to be honest with you, but hasn't told you everything about himself. It's not like he's offered you his full biography, but he has seemed to have answered your questions truthfully today. I should bring these up on the screen. Sorry, chat. So these were the rolls. Dax, you rolled Streetwise, which I think is going to give you a different kind of perspective. You've met, like you said, you've met these kinds of people before. The type of people that run scams and smugglers, and the type of people who work in those back alley circles on the lower levels of Coruscant, in the outer rim planets, and the type of people who would be working for someone like Jarlene. Hop fills all of those roles, but everything he has said to you seems like it's ringing true today. Underneath it all, it's impossible for you to ignore the fact that he just doesn't seem to be lying to you. Even though everything that you've said makes sense, he seems like the type of person who you would meet, who would double cross you, who would turn on you. He's by himself. Why is he by himself? The triumph is the one thing I'm going to let Hop reveal something about himself to you, some sort of insight that he's going to gain on a streetwise level. And I don't mind if you want to DM Orcish this, or if you just want to tell us all, but in terms of I think it would be very strange for you to meet someone who he's almost trained the way you are. It's almost as if he was trained the same way as you. He was trained to sneak. He was trained to do all these things, but he doesn't seem to have been dishonest with you. And I think when it comes to the stuff he was saying about the holocrons, he does seem to be protective of them rather than coveting them to sell. I think it's more of a sense of protection. So the triumph I will leave to you, Greg, if there's anything you want to do, and you tell me how you want to do that. In terms of honesty, I think all three of you get the sense that at least today, in the way that he was speaking and with everything he said, he did come across as honest. But again, I think, Dax, you just see him through that, like, almost like everything you thought about him was true, and yet also he doesn't seem like he's being dishonest with you.
Say today one more time, and I'm gonna go back and watch every single fucking episode.
Well, I
prior to
just
this.
say that because this check was made for this conversation, because you've made checks like this in the past with him, so I don't want to undo those roles. I've been GMing for 5 years, and people. The problem is, if I don't be specific, then you'll retroactively use this role for something he said 3 weeks ago, and if I am specific, you'll read too much into it, and there's no winning. So
Listen, for a year, You had me convinced that I was insane about Biz getting rocked. So I trust
True.
nothing you say for the rest of this game.
It was a year.
Absolutely fair. But
It was masterful, by the way.
I am,
you
if
definitely
nothing
gaslit
else-
me into fucking believing that I was crazy, and then it happened. You monster.
when the dice roll, I'm not, I'm just trying to give you the information
I
that
know.
the dice have told you, and that's all I'm trying to just be a lens for what the dice are trying to tell you here, but also not completely, I don't like doing stuff on behalf of characters, so these contested rolls are awkward a lot of the time for me. I don't want to, spoil Greg's character.
Right.
I think I'm about to spoil my character.
Right now?
With a triumph.
You could send me a message.
The triumph
Greg.
is to give. I have to give you something
have to.
really good.
Right, but you could send me a message. You don't have to.
You don't have to
There's
tell
no
the
fun in
whole
that.
audience.
Where's the fun in that?
That's true. I'll message you about it in 2
God
seconds.
damn it.
In 2 seconds.
Damn it, Orcish.
But
I know
it's
something you
It's
don't
true,
know.
though. It's true. It's true.
You can tell
Hop
us later.
is
I don't
Darth
think you're-
Maul in disguise.
There you go.
I see.
Hey, you were right, by the way. Turns out.
Turns out.
We'd all be dead. It wouldn't matter.
Yep.
Wouldn't matter who was right. We'd all be dead.
Speak for yourself.
No, I meant Darth Maul.
I got
Call
this.
back to.
Oh,
anyway, it doesn't matter.
right. Yeah.
Darth Maul was right.
I'm gonna message us right now, but I'm gonna do it off
Maul
camera
was
because
right.
I'm making more
T-shirt.
typos when I'm on camera. So give me a minute.
Yep.
But feel free.
Brad
do
looking
listen.
mighty fucking pleased with himself right now for some
I-
reason.
no,
I'm not gonna read into it. I'm not gonna read
I
into
wouldn't.
it.
I just enjoyed all of it. I'll tell you what I'll do. Everyone leaves the ship.
Everyone leave.
And I'll just get back to GMing. As you leave the ship, I think we have this kind of angled shot as the three of them walk off, and Hop steps off of the ship, the doors close, and you step away. Hop glances up at the part of an astromech that was somehow placed inside of a thruster at the back end of the ship, welded in and held there
while we were in a chase.
while you were being fired at by TIE fighters. Just literally, this ship is super long. You're in the front of it, so the back of the ship is so far away. The thing that he did here, Hop probably looks up at
Insane.
this thing, and then the four of you move towards the I just was waiting for Orcish to react and be like, stop everything. I kill him.
No?
Okay.
What?
Approaching the
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what he was
his
going
hand off
to
and
do.
he is
Slash
dead.
me, blows his
Yeah.
head off.
Slash me,
There is
win
nothing
Star
I
left.
don't know
Wars.
what Dax is going to do at any point.
Slash me, win Star Wars D&D.
Somehow less stressful to GM for than Pi, the Goliath in our offline D&D game.
Sorry, I'm the worst. I really am.
Yeah, he's going to think about that all night when it meant nothing. Approaching the closest and largest of these sort of metallic pyramids reveals a sort of ancient pathway that you can follow, covered mostly in sand and salt, but there are these thin triangular postmarks that lead you up towards the entrance, which is a massive steel slab. You can see that it's obviously the entrance. It seems like the only entrance, and this thing, once you get close to it, is falling apart and yet still very sturdy looking at the same time. Like a layer has been stripped off of this thing a long time ago. It was probably this huge glittering steel abstract art exhibit, but now it's this rusted panels fallen off of it, and there are chunks of metal panels rusted and broken and twisted and caught in the sand all around here. It's possible that perhaps on the way out or something you could grab some of these pieces of metal and help to repair some of the holes that are in the hull on your ship, as opposed to the thruster damage. There are still there's just burn marks, scorch marks, chunks of the Pathfinder that are just missing. But the doorway here is just a massive steel slab. It from looking at it, it looks like it was probably pulled open by workers or perhaps slaves with ropes a very long time ago. Now it just sits imposing and immovable. There's no tech on the front of this door to open it, which is very strange, but this thing looks like a temple or something like that. That's the only entrance, a huge metal steel slab.
That has to be pulled.
What do you do?
Super cool. Well, I'm not going to look into the fact that you said steel a bunch of times, and now I'm thinking about the metallurgy of this planet and how much.
I don't know anything about metal. Never ever. Really
I know that's why I'm like I should probably.
I don't know the difference between steel or zinc or mercury. They're all the same.
I'm sorry, did you say that there is a panel or something, or is it just a...
The door is just a chunk of metal in, like, it's an obvious doorway and then a chunk of metal. There's probably like lines or grooves in the door where once it was pulled by cables, or people would pull it, or, you know, some huge thing like a rain.
Evidence that it was pulled.
Is what would have opened it before it would have been manually opened. Which is either an expression of money, or this thing is literally like, it doesn't seem like it could be possibly that old, that it was pre-tech, but yeah, usually money, or just like it's a piece that was, you know, we open doors manually with our slaves who pulled it, you know, that kind of a thing maybe. Alternatively, this thing is locked from the inside, but
does it look like it has streaks of it being pulled recently?
What?
Not recently, but the door has obvious grooves where normally you would be able to attach ropes or chains to pull the thing.
How do you think it opens?
That's in character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Silhouette times 3 is still, or silhouette 0 times 3 is still 0. Never mind, we can't do it.
It is a silhouette too.
I would say. I would say. Looks like maybe, I don't know. It looks like it was dragged across, but I don't see. I would like to roll perception to see if I can see. Or are you just giving it to us that there's definitely no mechanized, or can I use perception to see if there is a mechanized way that this is moving, or an automatic way, like, is there?
Yeah, I'm just giving you the information. If it is in some way mechanized, or if there's some way to open it, then either you need some sort of remote access thing from the outside, or it's a thing that is on the inside. There's a panel on the inside that opens it, as in this thing is locked from the inside. But I'm going to give you that it seems unlikely, because it's so clearly a thing that would have been pulled back and forth. Like, that's what it looks like to you. So I'm not going to be... Like, if you came up to a door in real life, but I tried to explain it with words, you know, we would all be like, but we know what a door is. It's so obviously a thing that we pull a handle and pull it back. So I think to you, you guys aren't dumb. I don't need you to make intelligence checks for simple checks like that. This thing just is a thing that would have been manually opened. Alternatively, there's something on the inside that you have absolutely no access to. At the moment, this place seems impenetrable.
You want me to try and open it?
Yeah, let's do it. Can we do it? Let's do it together.
Hold on. As I sort of understand, I think where they may be going, I think I have some high tensile cable back on the ship. We could use the ship to pull it open.
Yeah.
Try this first.
We can do that if this doesn't work, I think.
All right.
It would have to be a pretty epic piloting check, because you have to get really close and move along in the Pathfinder.
Citizen.
On a busted ship, too.
On your ship that might blow up at any moment.
It's silhouette 2 or 3?
It's silhouette 2, because 1 is a human, 2 is big.
So
Bigger.
1 difficulty or 2?
It's a bit like
What
those land
difficulty is
speeders you were in size, the big square ones that were from Solo. Silhouette
what would
2.
Be the difficulty? But it's like right in front of us, so there's no range. So I have no idea what the difficulty would be.
I'll give you I'll give you the rolls if you want to try and just physically move them.
I'm using the force to move it.
With force move, you need to get up to a silhouette 2, and the difficulty is 2, or you need to beat an athletics 4 check, which is great usually in D&D because you have a fighter or a Goliath or something. Okay, you try and force push pull. But you don't generate enough, right? You need 2 to be able to move a silhouette 2, and also it's a fail. So what happens?
Let me spend 1 light side to move the object of silhouette 0, and then you spend another one to increase the strength, right? I try and it won't budge. I think it's just too much for me. You might see like a little bit of sweat. And then I just shake my head at Dax, like, can't do it.
It's a metal slab. There's no handholds.
I meant that
looks
we
like
can
it could be handholds.
grab it together. I would know
clear what I was doing, so
Yeah, I mean, it was
I
worth
can help
the
grab it now if you want.
You can all attempt to force push this together, and it would grant boosts to Nuada's force push, or you can all attempt to move this thing, and whoever is the strongest makes the check with some boosts.
Is
Brawn.
there are
don't think any of us have brawn.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
so it would be better if you guys were boosting my force check.
100%.
Yeah, but
But how did the boost for the force check even work, though?
Because you have a difficulty, you don't have to just generate 2 pips. You also need to get a success because it has a difficulty.
Oh, okay.
So that would help you with the difficulty
So
element,
that's
but
what
you would need to connect. The force
okay.
element really is just on you. There's no real way to boost that.
I'm gonna.
And
would
also,
like
I
to try
love
to roll a
this because in D&D, if I put a door in front of anyone, they just kick it down.
And we have to pull it open. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yep.
Can I roll a deception to try to hide, or maybe a stealth to try to hide? Probably stealth. To try to hide my. Actually, probably deception because it's cunning. I try to hide that I want to like help Nuada.
You're doing one of those quiet force push elements, then yes, roll deceptions versus these are just contested, and this is a different ruling for contested rolls, but it's what I'm doing. Perception check from Hop.
Perception. Any modifiers? Just straight.
No, because it's just
difficulty?
contested, so we'll just go with what you guys roll, and then you work it out.
Perfect.
You guys have to beat 3 successes and an advantage.
I got only advantages.
So technically, contested rolls work in this system by, like, you can translate that into a difficulty that everyone has to beat.
Oh, those are 3 difficulties now?
But I think that's pretty much what it is. It becomes like a difficulty thing. But I don't do that. So it's just you have to roll more successes than him.
I rolled 2 advantages. Right above him.
Yeah, so he sees you do this. You don't necessarily see him see you do it. You think you're being sneaky.
I may close my eyes and not mean to, and as I try to I want to help her, but instead I probably close my eyes and have 2 hands, and it's obvious what I'm doing.
Yeah. That gives Nuada 1 boost. Are you trying to help as well, Dax, or are you not revealing? At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
I thought that's what we were doing.
But you can help physically, though, is what Brad was saying. You don't have to use the force to
Can
help
I
me.
push? Can I push
No,
on it and give her a
different.
boost?
These are different checks.
When I said,
you know what?
when Rugo said, can we just use the spaceship instead of doing this? That's what he meant. And then both of you were like, no, let's just do this. And now we're doing this. And then
using the spaceship
Dax is backing out.
Is very dangerous.
I never agreed to use the force. You're crazy.
No, I thought that's what it was. That's why I was like, guys, why don't we just use the spaceship? And then you're like, now let's do this first. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's why I'm going into this. So it's funny
too
to
late.
see that.
Yeah, you can try and push on it and
physical
give a
brawn,
boost
and then spaceship
as well.
Right.
Yeah.
What is Hop doing? Are you helping as well? Or are you
It's
just
just
watching
funny
the
how
three of them open the door?
The communication of
I
us
think,
was still shitty.
If you push on the door, it will give Nuada another boost.
Oh, so I
push
can
on-
do that. I can push on.
Yes.
I'll push on the door.
Or just like a physical push.
Yeah.
Hop will do that.
Okay.
And there's a pull. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Whatever. Pull, push.
Yeah.
You can
It just
depend.
confuses my brain. when you just see
Wave your
someone
hands in
pushing
front
and
of the
rolling.
automatic sensor that
Exactly.
So that's 3 boosts.
You get your own back on Wednesday,
Yeah, I'll flip it.
but it's still not
I'll
enough. Are
take
you
a
sure you want to
conflict.
flip it?
What do you mean it's not enough?
Do you not need to generate? Oh, you only need to generate
2
one pip.
pips. No, 2 pips.
Yeah.
1 to do the ability, and then another 1 to add the strength.
Yeah, so even these boosts, they're not gonna really assist with the generation of a like. I'd have to roll a 2-sided
Unless
light, unless one
unless
of
Rugo can roll a pip die just to see, like, because he's using the force
That's
as
fair.
well.
Okay, Rugo, roll.
I
just a
didn't.
force
I
die.
didn't use ebb and flow, but which will work because it does make sense that I would probably.
This is
do
just connection to the force. Spell wind
it.
die.
Yeah, which is what my ebb and flow is.
just the force. Nope, no ebb and flow, just
No,
force.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this isn't the skill part. You've already rolled the skill.
Do I know difficulties? Oh,
Perfect.
Here's 2.
I don't even need to flip one,
Yeah. You know what?
unless we want to make it that I do need to flip one to even use the ability, which makes sense to me, Brad. Like I can't
That
just
makes
use
sense to me
his
too.
connection to the force. I'd
That
have
makes sense
to.
me too.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah. You have to flip
Yeah,
that.
I
You
think
flip
I
that,
should flip that. Yep.
And then
Get your conflict.
you push and I don't think you put. It's not like you push this thing all the way open. You make a gap big enough that you can squeeze through. It's like a joint effort where we see the 2 force users pushing the stone. You've got Hop and Dax pulling on the door, pushing on the door. Whatever Myth needs for his
ADD pull.
ADD brain. And
Dax
then,
is
and
pushing, Hop
you-
is pulling.
Yeah, you pull this thing just enough to get like a foot or 2 of the door before everyone just and it is open.
I've already taken a strain.
It is instant, I think, for Dax and Hop, who are right next to this thing. Is you get like a dry, dusty smell, that kind of opening a crypt sense of just like a and like trapped heat comes out because this is a big metal thing, and yeah, this rush of this almost like a seal being broken, but you're able to squeeze inside this thing, and it's very dark on the inside, and it looks like there's just a long empty hallway of darkness ahead of you. But no, this isn't like a D&D trapped thing where poison darts are going to get you or anything like that. You can each squeeze in, and you know what, that's what you do, because no one ever trusts the GM, and that's fair. Each of you squeeze through the door and
Die.
immediately die, and you are all hit with that dry, dusty smell, and you step into this structure, and you're immediately placed inside this initial chamber, which is sort of adorned with lots of intricate carvings along the walls and dark statues with these sort of ancient looking gold decorations hanging from some of the walls. There is dark statues in all sorts of different positions. Many of them are robed like you might expect a Jedi to be, and many of them are just kind of strange looking. There are several different species. There's humans, and there are smaller creatures, and there are plant-like beings, and yeah, you only need to take a few steps into this room to kind of get this sense of this old, ancient, very different looking, almost like a temple is what it would feel like to step into.
Immediately activate my glow rod, I think.
Well, as you get towards the far end of the room, there is a dark metal statue of a cloaked human with plant-like features, and he is holding a staff in one hand and a crystal orb in the other. And the room comes alive suddenly. Reds and oranges suddenly fill the room, lights rushing around. The orb itself comes to life, casting a red glow across the room, and it begins to pulse this red light like an alarm. The surface of this thing is sort of etched with strange symbols that shift from white to orange to red and disappear within the crimson and then come back. There is a great darkness that now falls across each of you. A sudden sensation of evil in this place. It is so potent that for a moment your breath might catch in your throat. There is a pressure in this room that holds you still. 3 Padawans make me plain force checks.
Oh,
With that
I'll
force
flip
die.
it. I'll flip it.
Can't flip it.
Okay, amazing.
Would you like me to re-roll since I had
Yes.
difficulty die on them?
It's up to you.
I mean, I got
Yes.
the light.
Yes, we have constantly been re-rolling.
Yep.
Otherwise, Rugo would be healed.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
It's like that time when we changed how Spellwind works because Ty would be dead.
Yeah, right.
And that's how it is here. I would be healed.
If you rolled a white, the number doesn't matter. If you rolled a white pip, you take 1 conflict. If you rolled a dark pip, you take 2 conflicts immediately. As the
Thank you.
dark side of the force creates a stifling pressure. The room, with all of its reds and golds, suddenly takes on a very strange, looming sensation. The orb flashes a few times, and then as you're looking at one another, you notice that you are each covered in a red light. No matter where you move, the orb is tracking you in red light. Each of you is now completely diffused in red. The statue in front of you that has the staff in one hand and the orb, and this is a huge statue at the center and back end of this chamber, has 5 smaller statues in front of it standing in varying positions. The heads on these statues are grotesquely oversized, with each one pulling a twisted face. Once the lights in this room start moving and shifting around, lots of reds and oranges, you notice that underfoot there is a huge stone plate with text on it. And this is where everyone in the chat room gets to go into emote only mode, because I don't do puzzles with chat speaking anymore. And anybody who wants to can make me an education or a lore check at a difficulty of 2 to attempt to read what this inscription reads.
I think I would say we should not be here, and we should leave right now.
Is there an education skill? I'm so sorry.
Yes, it's all the way at the
It's
bottom.
just lore, right? Oh.
There's education.
Oh, yeah, I
or
see it.
lore,
Okay,
you
okay,
said,
okay. I'm going to go for lore then, and I will do it. Fuck,
Okay.
okay.
You have no idea what this says.
Okay.
I'm going to also go for lore as well.
And the advantage gives somebody else a boost, though, who goes after me?
Yes, Rugo, you can have a boost.
Okay.
Thank you. Laura's not here.
Is that the bottom?
All the way at the bottom on the scales.
Oh, he's looking for it in his
He has
Templar.
that weird sheet. Yeah, right.
Because I need it.
You didn't roll your boost, and you didn't put the difficulty on there either.
Thank you. What's the difficulty? How much?
2.
2.
2. Thank you.
Who's that? It's a bit echoey in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 fails.
I'm sorry, what is on your armor? Is that a light? Is it
glow stick.
reflecting?
Glow rod.
Oh, it looks so good.
Is anybody else trying to read this?
Thank you, bespoke post.
No, like I said, I don't think we should be here.
Yeah.
And no one said anything to that.
Sorry, we
leaving?
were
Yeah.
rolling so that, because it's going to affect how I react if I can read this or not.
Right. And I also am gonna probably agree. I agree. I think we should leave. I like this.
Oh, all right.
We could come back, but I don't know. Look towards Hop.
Hop has 2 conflicting thoughts running through his mind right now. And I think you can see it.
What?
Preservation versus
Of course.
self-preservation.
Right.
And
Hop, is this something we need to reserve?
I don't know. But that makes me want to. I think we should.
We could always take this down, go back to the ship,
That's what I'm
try to figure out what it says. Right? And come back after the storm. If we want.
What are you feeling, Dax?
Ah,
Not
we
thinking. Feeling.
it feels dark. Feels... I don't know. It's not safe.
Then let's go. I'm feeling that as well.
What's the marching order as you guys turn
Can
around?
I foresee,
You
actually?
absolutely
leave?
may try.
I would like to be first.
Okay. You roll me the 4C. Here we go.
2 light side.
What's the intention here? What are you rolling it for?
If we continue forward, what's in there, I think, is what I'm trying to figure out. Or, is it bad or is it... Yeah, just trying to figure out if it's helpful or not for us to go in there. And get rocked.
Everything here is bad. Everything here is really bad. Trying to leave
Okay.
is going to get you killed. Going further in, probably going to get you killed. Everything here wants you to die.
Stop.
I can hear it.
Rugo takes a step out.
No, I say stop. Do you keep going, Rugo?
He took at
I
least
stop when
one
you
step.
I
The
took at
red
least
orb
one step.
is pulsing. That red light that is over you, you notice that there are 100 red lights in the sort of ceiling around this chamber that begin to flash, and your skin begins to burn. Any exposed skin here begins to flare and burn, Rugo. You take 1 wound for taking 1 step away from that
Don't
thing.
move.
Easy.
As you stop or flinch backwards, the lights stop flickering, the red orb stops pulsing, and your skin cools as the burning stops. It was like being microwaved.
We can't leave.
Can't move.
This decision just got a whole lot easier.
The 5 statues in front of you each have things inscribed on them, words written down them. Is anyone else able to read this thing underneath? You can make the check for free. You don't need to have careers or anything.
I can make a lore check.
I have a check in lore, so I can give a boost die to someone. I imagine it's just by being like, it looks like it's from this region or something, but I don't recognize it. Narratively.
Mhm.
Holy
I also
shit.
That's pretty sweet. I also have a check in lore as well.
I don't have anything in lore or education, so I was just going to do see if I could.
I could help, but
Difficulty
Anyone
2.
has-
Yeah, everyone should, in my opinion, but I'm just saying anybody that rolls gets a boost die from me because I have it checked.
Is Hop the only one who hasn't rolled yet?
I have not rolled either.
So you both get a boost die, one from Rugo and one from me.
if you want to roll, that is.
Yeah.
Why don't all of us give a boost to Up? Because I also have lore checked.
No, because
so
the odds
that's
are better.
3 boosts.
It is 3 boosts, but the odds are better if he rolls and you roll separately and you both get the 2 boosts. Because you have it checked. Right? Probability?
Okay.
Chat? Is that
Okay.
right? That's right.
Is that okay, Brad?
Yeah, you can do either of those. I don't mind.
All right.
All right, so 2 difficulty, 1 boost die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, 2
No,
boost
yeah.
dice. One from Rugo,
2
one
boost
from me, because we both have it checked. Yep.
Okay.
And I also have it checked. Does he get 3 boost dice?
Sure.
And then
Or no?
Yeah, unless you're making the thing as well. Wait, no, you have the same ability. Or are you
he
making
has
the
lore
roll?
checked off.
Wait, you have an ability, Nuada?
I have a career.
Or
tick.
you just have a tick?
Oh,
I have a career tick.
We all have ticks.
Oh.
Yeah, we all have
Ticks, no, because you're making individual checks.
Got it. Thought so.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I
Right.
thought you meant you had an ability that helps.
I can do that. No.
All right, so then no boost die difficulty.
But if we were not,
Yeah.
just so I know, if we were not going to read it and forego us rolling it, we could have helped him.
You can do it that
Yes.
way, yeah.
All right. Okay.
then I would
All
just
right.
like to give a boost to him and not.
Yeah.
Okay,
roll.
let's do that, yeah. This is you two working
Alright.
together, I guess, so you might both... I mean, we'll see how the roll goes to see what... 1 boost.
Very cute.
1 boost. All right, here we go.
2 advantages. Here's what I'll give you. This is Sith shit.
Right.
Why you know that, I don't know. You know it's bad.
That was pretty obvious.
Hop knows it.
Does he give us that information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he says it almost exactly like Brad. This is not good.
Yeah.
You ever heard of the Sith?
Of course we have.
Uh,
But we can't move.
Can't move.
And we don't know what that says.
Guess we should try to figure it out.
The 5
start
statues under the
guessing.
main
How?
statue do have words written on them in basic.
What do they
I
say?
see.
Well, the first one, on the left, if we just go from left to right, says, I am the spark that ignites the fire, the heat that fuels the flame. And I'll write that for us in our group.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I
Is
will-
the second one, I am the storm that is approaching.
The second one is, I am the storm
Lights the
that is
fire?
approaching.
And
The second
is
one-
approaching. Water.
It's not I am the storm that is approaching.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a meme. The
Jesus,
second
I
one,
thought you made the meme into a puzzle.
it would have been great. And Greg would have
Would've
really
been
loved it.
perfect. Yeah.
The second one is I am the weight
Metal
that
Gear.
crushes the weak, the force that shatters the feeble. The third one is I am the blade that cuts through the darkness, the power that overcomes all obstacles. What one was that? 1, 2, 3,
3.
4. fourth one is I am the hand that grasps the prize, the conqueror that stands above all. And the fifth one is I am the wind that carries the flame, the light that illuminates the darkness. Biz decided to speak halfway through those, just to confuse everyone.
Thank you, Biz.
Well done, Biz. Speaking in our
A
group.
real
chat.
eye
Thank you,
for
Biz.
this.
Sending a TikTok.
Perfect.
Get wrecked.
He'll never speak to us again.
Good. He got kicked off the show for a reason.
Oh my god. People believe you.
Oh my god. I'm the spark that ignites the fire. Sith feels the flame.
As with D&D, you can forego 5 XP for a clue.
That's half of our XP.
It's half of your basic XP. You do get bonuses to XP depending on things that you do. And that's how this works, chat. They get 10 XP every week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but is
Yeah, it's up.
on its own. It's
It adds
not
up.
bad. And then when they do other things, they might get bonus XP.
So we don't understand what this puzzle even is yet at this point. So
We just have the
there's
plate.
nothing that indicates these statues can be moved or that the inscriptions can be moved.
It doesn't really look like these statues can be moved. It just looks like these statues they're about 5 or 6 feet tall, humanoid. They look like the same size that you might be. Each of them is in like a weird position with a weird twisted face. But yeah, it doesn't seem like this is a thing that you necessarily directly interact with. And there's just a bunch of text underneath your feet, inscribed in this massive stone.
I would like to look around to see if there's any computers. Without moving, I'm just going to use my eyes. I have goggles on that actually enhance my vision at night or in dark places.
Yeah. Give me let me see. I guess this would just be a computers check.
Okay.
We'll make it a difficulty 2.
Right, let me
You can have a
check my
boost for the goggles,
skills.
actually. Difficulty 2 with a boost for the goggles.
I did another for C, Brad, but I'll wait till after this, just so you know what that's for.
Okay, are you keeping that dark pip?
No, I'm gonna swap it.
Okay, so I'm using computers with 1 boost,
1 boost.
difficulty 2.
Yes.
I am feeling an extreme amount of fear right now, being trapped in this dark place that appears to be evil in nature. And I am a bit panicked, though I may not show it, and I'm going to upgrade this roll. I'm going to reach towards the force for guidance.
Okay. 2 successes, 2 threats. Yeah, you guys are looking around. Because you can see into the gloomy areas here, there is tech involved in all of this. This isn't magic. This isn't, anything insane. It looks like old, very, very old tech. Hundreds of years old. And whatever is going on here, there is probably just nothing but circuit boards in the walls. Like this whole room is just a big danger room that is designed to do exactly what it's doing. It's all connected in such a way that it's providing this situation. It's got there are like what would look like LEDs in the walls everywhere, lighting everything up. There are light paths, and there is this orb which is flashing light and seems to be like a control node or something. And it's all been twisted to make this chamber be what it is. Really, most of the tech is designed to kill you or harm you. There's obviously something that is like a laser that is going to burn you if you move around or move out. There is I'll give you this on the successes. You can move around on the platform up to the statues. If you step off the back of the platform, that's when you start getting burned.
Okay. I'll relay that, but I'd like to ask, what I was really looking for is like a panel that's accessible, or...
There's no panels, there's no like interface thing here. It's possible someone's remote controlling this, but it's probably more likely to just be automated. There isn't any droids in here or anything like that. Whatever is happening was probably activated once you guys stepped up to this plate, and then you activated this twisted saw game.
And there's only one laser, and I can see it.
No, there's tons of them.
There's tons of them. Okay.
Yeah. Going absolutely ballistic and trying to destroy this will probably get you killed.
Yeah.
It would be really, really difficult to get out of here without being injured.
Too late.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out, I think, exactly what and how this is built without really getting into the walls and getting into it and figuring it out. So I guess my answer is you got to play the game.
So would I notice that this is all hooked up to the statues and things? Like,
it's all linked to
would
the
I be able to relay
statues, and it's
that
linked
we've
to the
got to figure
massive
this out?
statue. And yeah, there's something here
Okay.
that needs to be
I relay that
solved.
this is some sort of puzzle, and we have to figure it out, I think. I don't think there's any other way around it.
I'm using Force C.
Yes, with the intention of what?
Seeing the correct answer to the puzzle without somebody dying.
Okay.
I had to take a conflict to flip that, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I did do.
What you see is at some point in the future you will learn the Sith tenet, or the code of the Sith, or the way of the Sith doctrine, which is this set of phrases, very similar to the Jedi.
And do we know that? Yes.
No, I guess. I mean, it's completely up to you as to how much you know about Sith stuff. It's kind of a thing that they stopped even really caring about. It's like the whole point is how Order 66 came about. So you would know about the Sith, and you would have heard about all these old things that happened. And actually, since we're here, everyone is able, if you would like to, you can make me another just casual education or lore check with a difficulty of 3.
Before we do, I want to say, I am passion.
Okay.
Oh.
Only Nuada gets this though, because she's using a foreseeability, so she's the only one who's making this connection.
I was going to do this anyway.
Okay. But Nuada, the answer to your question is that the words underfoot are these words. Nual Tash Zwal Shatsokun Shazjontu Chatsuol Nutyuk, those words, when translated,
Are the tenants?
would be the tenets.
Okay. Sorry, Rugo, what did you just say?
I said, what maybe while you were doing that, or maybe in that, or what snapped you out of it, is I sort of look around and I go, and I'm trying to think of our tenant, and then I also try to think what could be anything that could be all of these things, with what we have, and I say, I am passion.
The orb in the largest statue's hands pulses quickly. The first statue, its twisted face glows red. It's a trick of the light as it glows red. It looks as if it's firing now a perfect beam of red light over Rugo, and a disembodied voice coming from the direction of the statue with the orb speaks and says,
Demonstrate your passion. Allow me to feel the spark.
Fuck!
you are now
Yeah.
covered in this red light.
Yeah, I've got like a spotlight on me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Don't say anything yet. And I will quickly translate the tablet. I'll speak all of that out loud for you guys so you guys can see it. Well, it seems you've already started. Good luck. Going to have to let the emotion in.
As he still sort of looks at everyone, trying to find what could demonstrate passion in this moment.
Tenacity, determination. Either would be good. Anger.
You could give Whisper over there a good old kiss on the lips.
Or
And mean
you
it.
could just think about how angry he makes you. Sorry, Dax.
Yeah, that's good.
Or you could think about how every single person you know was probably slaughtered.
It's not passion.
It will give you a
It's vengeance
type
and
of
anger.
passion. Is that not a form of passion?
That's not the same. If you were to actually know what the light's code would be, you'd know that that is not vengeance, nor is it that's vengeance
We're not
and
dealing
anger,
with the light
not
codes
passion.
right now, are we?
Well, I believe that is if the. I just don't understand how, with all of the training that we've had, none of you could remember what it is that we stand for. And I would like to use that as my passion.
Yeah, so good.
The
Can
orb.
I say I give him a boost because I'm poking
There's
him?
no check to make. The orb
Oh,
is flashing this entire time. The orb that is being held by the largest statue suddenly emits a red burst of light which covers Rugo. Rugo, you're frozen in place.
Shit.
Kid, you all right?
Can he speak? Can you
Good.
speak?
Completely
Rugo?
frozen. Like carbonite frozen.
Oh no.
Shit.
No.
Wait. I don't know. Passion, I gain strength. Strength, I gain power. What next? Power, victory? Victory, my chains are broken. So, If we figure it out, maybe he'll be released. I don't know.
It's either he gets released or we all get frozen. But we're all frozen anyways, aren't we?
And the Force shall
There's-
set me free.
5 statues, though. If each of them freezes us, well, there's not enough of us.
You must have gotten it wrong.
Well, there are supposed to be 5 people coming in here. I don't know, though. If this is what I think it is, there's no way 5 would
What
be
do you
coming in
think it
here
is?
unless it's ancient.
I think it's safe to say it's
I would-
ancient.
Brad, I'd like to argue that I, at this point, know that this is Sith, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
Hop
already.
told you.
Yeah, Hop said so.
Actually, who
Well,
got
this
what?
is,
Let me
uh,
use your previous checks. No
Hop
one
said
got
it was
any.
Sith, like, right when we entered in, I think.
That's right.
As soon
Yeah.
as he found out, he shared it with us.
Yeah,
yeah, you do
the
know.
3 of you make me an education or a law check at difficulty 3. And
I will just boost someone.
yeah, Rugo, you can make this check as well. This would be pretty frozen.
What am I making?
You can make an education or a law check if you'd like.
I would like to argue for an additional boost as my master's job probably would have had, in tens of thousands of years ago, of course, would have had a lot to do with hunting Sith, and it is very possible that she had shared a bit of information about that with me.
Absolutely.
I'll boost you.
What difficulty?
3.
We should just boost Rugo.
Yeah, boost.
We learned this last time.
Who are we boosting?
Dax?
Dax.
Dax.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll boost.
Okay.
So 2 boosts from us.
2 boosts and then an additional boost. And
Yep.
Hop, do you have a check in lore?
Nope.
Okay, so that's all I can take then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
3's pretty good.
1 success and a bunch of advantages. Really, all this gives you is the depictions of the scenes that are on the walls are scenes that they sort of begin to make sense as you start looking at them and following them around the room. These are scenes from the new Sith Wars, or more likely known to you all as the Jedi-Sith War, which was 1,000 years of conflict that took place before the Rule of Two, between 2000 and 1000 BBY, but just afterwards was when the Rule of Two was introduced. And this entire chamber seems to be dedicated to something to do with that war, the Jedi-Sith War.
Right.
This place is probably minimum 1,000 years old.
So I would say, I think one person could get through this because of the Rule of Two.
But how
So-
he's frozen.
Sorry, wait. Just point of order. This wouldn't be in character. Didn't he just say this depicts the stuff on the wall is depicting stuff from before the Rule of Two?
It has,
Yeah.
but it's dedicated to a war that, and again, I suppose it's possible I don't know this, but I do. It's dedicated to a war that ended with the Rule of Two.
Yeah, okay.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, it ended with, I can't remember his name, but Darth whatever
Bane.
became in
It's
charge.
fine. I wouldn't know this anyway. I was just clarifying for you in case you misheard.
There isn't
So
really
that's
anything
okay.
that indicates the Rule of Two here, but that's just to show you how old it is.
Oh, okay. Then I wouldn't say that, I suppose.
You might be right, but this really is more depictions of that war more than anything. Just
What
a very
do we do?
Sith place right now.
I don't know. Someone want to declare their strength or something.
And what?
What about you, Hop? You seem strong.
Get risks being frozen.
Me? No, I'm just a untrustworthy smuggler, aren't I?
Okay. Jabs
Well,
aside,
I'm not going before
he's
you.
not a force user, so he shouldn't do it at all.
Well, neither am I.
So I should. That's why I said you risk me getting frozen.
You're gonna let her go before you?
Are
He's
you?
not a force user.
Am
This
I?
is your chance to prove yourself. What's it
You've
you've been
only,
talking?
I've
He's
only
not
known
a
all you
force
for half
user.
a day.
Can we stop? Rugo is frozen, and we don't know how to solve this. I don't think brute forcing our way through is the answer.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Okay. There are 5 statues and 5 tenants. Right?
Right.
So, what?
Did he, you said one of the statues talked to him? Was it the
Yeah.
statue?
The
That
central.
said,
It was the
Show
central.
me your passion. Yeah.
The sound
Oh, it was the
came
central.
from the central statue, but it was
Okay.
loud.
And he wasn't looking at any particular statue or standing next to any particular statue?
The light, when he loudly declared something about passion, the light shone off of the first statue and bathed him with even more light than he did his speech, and then was frozen by a light that is now coming from the main central orb that's being held by the largest statue.
So, what? We think he just wasn't passionate enough?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
He seemed pretty passionate to me.
So, let's go based on the assumption that he was passionate enough. What next?
Someone's got to be strong enough, I would think.
No.
Right? No.
If it's just one doing the test, it's just him.
He's got to prove how strong he is and get out of that by himself.
Through strength, I gain power. Through power, victory. Victory, my chains are broken. The force shall set me free. Strength of mind or strength of body? Do you suppose?
It can't be that simple. Just got to wiggle his way out physically.
No.
No.
I don't know.
Perhaps it
I'm
was the
aware
wrong
that-
kind of passion.
Crushes the weak, the force that shatters the feeble. This is what we know, right, Brad? This bit?
What bit?
I'm the spark that ignites the fire is written in basic underneath each one of these, right?
Yes, each of the statues.
Okay.
The one that is shining light on Rugo right now is the spark that ignites the fire. And they go from left to right in the way that I wrote them, top to bottom.
Blade could be lightsaber. Hand that grasps the prize, the conqueror that stands above all. What's that? Power, I gain victory. These people. Thing that carries the flame. Light that illuminates the darkness. I have no idea. I'm going to meditate on it. Can I do that?
Probably not. Give me a discipline check.
Okay.
Difficulty 4.
I'd like to argue that I have something. This is the type of training that my master definitely would have put me through. Where it's like, I'm not always on taking the direct traditional light side path to things, and to kind of just see every obstacle as like a way to learn something new. So while I do feel the pressure of the dark side here, I don't think it scares me as much as it scares the rest of them.
Okay, you can have a boost, but I'm going to use a dark side point to upgrade it. So
Sure.
Upgrade the difficulty, add a boost.
Mm-hmm.
And roll
Discipline.
your discipline check.
Okay. Does anybody have checks in discipline that would like to help me?
And then no one can help you with this one.
Okay, nobody can help me. Okay.
That was
2 successes.
That was a 1 difficulty.
I did an upgrade. Sorry. You wanted me to do more?
No, you need to upgrade the other side.
No,
But-
I did 1 boost and then I did 1 upgrade on the bad side. What else do you want me to add to it?
It's 4 difficulty.
Plus an upgrade.
Yes.
Okay. Success.
I can't see anything because everything minimized itself for absolutely no reason just then.
Jesus. The odds of that were insane.
Okay, 1 success. All right. And what are you trying to meditate for?
Some sort of answer that probably Nuada would have that I don't, because I'm an idiot and I have no idea how to solve this puzzle without somebody fucking dying.
Rugo passed.
But that would imply that he should be able to do the next step.
Would it?
Unless it really is that there's supposed to be 5 people in here.
Rugo passed.
But he's frozen in place. So he can't do the next step of the test? Which would imply that there needs to be 5 people, so there's no point in us doing this, right? Explain it to me like I'm 5, Brad. It's fine.
The Sith didn't used to be 2 people. Groups of people would arrive.
Right, but the implication is if he passed and there are 5 statues, but there's only 4 of us, we can't possibly win, right? Is
You
that
can
the
win.
conclusion Nuada would be making?
You're assuming that the 5th isn't just like, I don't know, like the one that declares the victory, or
Maybe not everyone gets frozen when they do it too. Like,
That's true. But I think like I'm just trying to think of what it would actually be like in this situation. I think I would assume that it needs 5 people. But I assume they want me to do the next bit as well, because Dax is not going to admit anything right now. So that would mean I need strength. Good fucking luck. None of us have brawn, right?
no.
Would I know like what the ways in which like the Sith would view strength? Is it mental or?
Yeah, you would know. I
Okay.
mean,
Is it physical?
it's most of the time it's physical.
Fuck. Okay. Well. I will go ahead and relay this to everybody. I can try.
Well, would you look at that? We're not going to use our force user for strength.
What?
We're going to use our wonderful captain here, captain of the ship.
I'm not going before you.
So you
I've
don't trust
expressed-
you don't trust
I
the
don't
only
trust you
one
at
with
all.
force abilities among us.
You want to earn some
can
trust,
easily
you go
overcome.
next.
He's not a force user, so I don't think he should go at all. And neither should you.
If we fail
the
any
problem
of
with
this
this,
is a
Ryan?
Sith temple.
if we fail any
Can
of
I
this,
assume that, Brad, that like you wouldn't want a non-force user to try to do a force temple puzzle?
It doesn't make any sense that a non-force user would ever
Yeah.
come to a Sith temple,
Or
but
be able to pass the test, right?
I mean, I guess so.
But maybe, okay.
I see this going a couple different ways. If not that you would ask me, Dax, but let me just speak out loud, clear my mind a little bit. One, I go. The Sith deities or what have you realize I don't have any force abilities. Nix myself or Rugo. And you either start off, you have to start it all over again, now with one of you being frozen, or it kills us, everyone. Sith weren't exactly easygoing, here, give it another shot type of people.
Or I go, get frozen, and then you two bicker for eternity. Can I
would
trust that you
personally,
will work together if I do this and succeed?
I'd personally not like to be stuck with him alone in a Sith temple.
Then you can go now, and you won't be.
It makes
Or you
no
could go,
sense.
you're clearly stronger than me, younger.
Holy shit, I
vibrant,
go.
full of
I'm
life.
so mad now.
What do you
I
do?
I'm doing it. I'm gonna fucking try to.
You're mad?
I am mad. I am mad. I'm just tired, I think. In a way that Nuada would be mad, which is not as mad as PB, whatever. Like, you know, Nuada's just like, all right, fine, I'll do it. But I think, just so I understand, Brad, because it's hard for me to visualize this, each platform we can move on to. I'm
you're
assuming
on
that
a
I'm
big
supposed
platform.
to pick up the statue
No.
or something.
No, you don't interact
Okay,
with them at
all
all.
right.
Rugo didn't even move.
Okay. So then I just say I am strength,
Cool.
or
That'll do. The
anger?
Hey.
light, a light shines down. It sits on the second statue's face, and then again a trick of the light to cause it to engulf you, and you hear that voice again say, "Demonstrate your strength. Crush something weak."
Okay. If I look around, but I can't leave this platform now that I'm on it, right?
Right. The platform's pretty big. We'll say like.
Okay.
We're all on the platform.
Yeah, it's like 15
Okay.
by 10 feet.
So I could crush you. Just kidding. I'm just joking.
You can try.
I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't be opposed to it.
Please just do
So,
it.
what do I see around me that is like stone or rock or something, or just anything that looks like I can fucking crush it?
There's
Something
tons
weak,
of
I
stuff
guess.
around you. There are all these little ornate things, decorations
Uh-huh.
on the wall, vases, the statues themselves, the bigger statue, 3 people, your
A
spirit.
vase?
You
Like
gotta-
a ceramic one? Like
Yeah,
it would,
sure.
you know, you could just crush that? Because
Yeah.
that's very easy to crush.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that is something ridiculously weak, I guess. Sure. Can I do that?
What do you do?
Would I know? So when I asked earlier, like, would I understand the way in which they view these tenants? What I mean is, would I be able to? Are they looking for a physical display of strength, or can I use my force ability to crush it?
Crush something weak.
Is all that that's all that matters?
Yes.
Okay, cool, great. I'm gonna do that then, because I'm better at that than I am at physical strength.
Okay. And you're using force move.
Yes. Sorry, I still have difficulty on an upgrade. Not that it matters, but we're gonna make me re-roll anyway.
Well, the
if I
difficulty
realize
is
it after the
1,
fact, so-
I guess.
What's the silhouette?
0.
So then there is no difficulty, right?
I guess if you're
Difficulty
standing
begins at
right
1.
next to it. I don't know what the ranges is. I can't remember. It's the range. that
It's
determines
within
the
short
difficulty.
range would be the basic, and then if it's
I don't think
medium
there's
range,
ever
then
anything
it's
that's difficult 0, so 1 is the lowest I
So
could
1.
give you.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking destroyed.
Yeah, what happens?
I will use both of those light side to I mean, this isn't really a thing. This is just what I'm doing. So you can spend a light side to increase the strength. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to overkill this thing
Why?
because I want to display absolute obliteration. Like, I want to. They're looking for, they didn't say break a vase. They said crush something weak.
Yeah,
so
and
I'll
you
crush
do so.
something.
You put your hands out in front of you. The vase goes flying across the room, explodes into bits, but you are locked in place. The light coming down from the orb, drenching you in this dark red light. Nuada frozen in place now.
Right. Well, I suppose you're up there.
Beauty before age, please.
I'm not going before you. We'll die of starvation.
I'm pretty sure I ate more recently than you did, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I take out a ration and bite into it.
It would be the first time I went a couple days without a little nibble.
Oh, no, I can be here all week.
I'm sure you can.
Nothing to do.
It's a real shame, though. You're gonna kill your two friends with your ignorance. With your pride.
Listen. Didn't you just say something about trust? You want to earn a little bit of trust? Here's your chance.
A little bit. You make a mighty compelling offer. A little bit of trust. Risk getting frozen forever. Hop walks over. Is there like a force field or anything that's in surrounding Nuada and Rugo? Or like could he, like, if you wanted to, like, go in and take things out of their pockets and stuff?
You can try.
There's rubble on the ground.
There's no obvious force field or
pebbles.
anything like that, but there's rubble and pebbles and bits of vase and ceramic now.
Hop is going to take like a little pebble and just maybe chuck it at Rugo's armor, just to see what would happen.
Yeah, it hits the armor. It heats up and then falls off.
All right. I'll make you a deal then. Give me that holocron. And I'll go next. And you'll get it at the other side. A little assurance.
Okay. Dax hands him the holocron.
All right. This is stupid. Victory.
The fourth statue lights, the light shining now over Hop, and the voice booms out and says,
Demonstrate victory. Conquer everything.
No, I'm really glad I went right about now. Hey, Dax, give me your scarf.
All right. Take my scarf off and give it to him.
I don't know why it didn't work. I just won. I told you to do something and you did it. It's a victory for me. Damn.
Suppose I'm not surprised that that was the extent of your plan.
Sometimes it's just the easy solution that is right. Because Sith didn't want that. He looks at Dax. Let's try it one more time. Why don't you hand me that blaster real quick?
No.
Can I just remind them something that I think they would know?
yeah.
Sure.
It's not victory next.
Yeah.
It's power.
I knew that.
Oh, it's
I was
power.
wondering
Oh,
why he went
okay.
for the fourth
Oh,
one.
sorry.
Okay.
I got mixed up. That was me.
Yeah, that's why I said
Whatever.
it.
Live with it.
Okay.
I didn't even know there was an order.
Yeah, there is. I messed that up though, but I'm gonna live with it. All right, so it said just kill them all, Brad. Is that what the voice said? Right?
To demonstrate victory, conquer everything.
Can I? No, I can't do anything. I'm absolutely frozen in time.
Correct.
Okay. I'll just sit on my hands.
Is there anything Hop would know about this that I wouldn't potentially? You think, Brad? I'm drawing a blank. Other than just killing everyone right now.
Yeah. No, it is entirely up to Hop's interpretation.
All right. So, the primary difference between the Jedi and the Sith were that the Jedi arguably suppress their emotions and the Sith are ruled by it. So, so Hop has to not be Hop, essentially, right now. Okay. Hop takes out the holocron and plays it. You don't have to play the clip again because he didn't get to hear it the first time. Listens to the voice of Obi-Wan. And I think he starts he's shaking a little bit. He's basically just one by one starting to let himself feel something again. And I think through that, I think he, that thing he's been doing, Brad, I think that drops.
Okay.
What does that mean?
And he just allows that to drop.
I think it's like he doesn't allow, it just happens. It's not something he's doing, it just happens. Sorry, my dog's going crazy, so I'm trying to speak very briefly, quickly.
Okay.
What does that mean? Sorry.
Hop freezes in place.
Okay, I assume I don't know what the hell you're talking about with things dropping. So I try to take the holocron back now that he's frozen.
Yeah, you immediately take one wound to your hand. It's like touching the hottest metal plate. As soon as your hand gets close to where the light is touching him, it's like putting your hand into a microwave emitter.
I use the force issues. I use the force to move it out of his hand.
Absolutely possible, yeah.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
Oh, you can do this.
Okay. I use the force and move it out of his hand and put it in my pocket. And then I say, I am power.
The voice speaks out and says,
Demonstrate your power. Cut through one that stands before you.
I take out my combat knife that I had in my boot. And I attempt to cut through a statue. Can I do that without leaving the platform?
You can do it without leaving the platform. How do you feel when you're doing this?
I suppose before I do this, I do take a moment to notice that I am alone, in a way. These two have been with me for half a year now, and we've been surviving. So I think I feel anxious, very concerned. Definitely there is some fear being in this place that we were told about as kids, this temple to our nightmares. So I am afraid, but I twist that fear, as we all do sometimes, into something else, and I think it turns into a bit of anger and determination as I try to cut this statue.
You thrust
With my knife.
forward. The light from the statue blinds you for a moment as you thrust at this thing. As the knife hits the statue, it's strange. It's almost as if all of the kinetic energy of you moving forward is just absorbed by this statue. It feels really weird. And you stumble forward, hit this statue with a perfect thrust, and suddenly the orb that is in the largest statue above you now pulses even quicker, red lights bursting forth from it. The frozen players all unfreeze, and there is a sudden low hum that is emitting from the temple around you. The red light across each of you is still following you, including you, Dax, and there is a pressure on your body that isn't anything to do with the dark side. It's a tingling as the heat starts to heat up your skin slightly. The voice says,
I am the wind that carries the flame, the light that illuminates the darkness. Use the force to pull the staff from my hands, and you will be permitted entry.
ahead of you there's this huge statue, the red orb in one hand, the staff in the other, and you are getting warmer and warmer by the second. What are you doing?
Each of us?
All of us is getting warmer and warmer by the second?
All of
Or
you are
just Dax?
heating up.
Cool. I'm using the force move basic power.
Okay.
Please and thank you. Difficulty 1 or more?
Difficulty 2 because it's up above you and far away. It's the silhouette of 1.
Okay. Light side and an advantage.
So that is a fail. What happens?
It's a silhouette of 1, you said?
It's a silhouette of 1.
Yeah, okay. I'm not able to do it, I think.
Okay. You try and pull this staff and it just doesn't happen. You guys now are heating up considerably.
They can't do it. I'm the only one who can. So am I able to try again? Unless you have an upgraded...
I mean,
I don't
what
have
are you guys
ability.
doing?
Does anybody have the upgraded move ability?
No.
No.
Okay, try it again.
Dax, do you have upgraded
No, we can
move?
all move. This is a 0 silhouette, right?
No, it's a 1
Silhouette
silhouette.
1.
So none
So
of us
unless-
can. I couldn't do it if I wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. So I have to try again. Am I able to try again, Brad?
Yeah.
Like, can I take a conflict to do it or something?
No,
Or?
you can try again.
Okay. All right. Are they able to boost me in any way? Or no?
If
Why
they're
don't you
trying to
use-
use the force to pull the staff with you, yeah.
Use some light side. Use light side.
Yeah.
I can, but will you help me? Because it'll boost it.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So I try and I struggle. So if you will help, then I will do that. So what do I do for that,
order.
Rod? Do I upgrade?
Order.
Yes.
I know where we are. And I know what it seems. But even in the darkness, there is light. And the Force brings us together for light and life.
Right. I'll try again.
Okay, so it is 2 boosts, and that's it.
But the boost. Okay.
You
yeah,
get 1
that's
boost from Rugo. Actually, it says 1 boost.
fine. Yeah.
And you can use an upgrade from the light side.
If you spend a light side point, it upgrades your ability. Yeah.
But sorry, explain this to me, because I don't think the boost actually helps me here, because what I need is 2 light side, and his boost can't do anything
You
to help
failed
that.
last time.
Does the upgrade?
You did not get a success last time.
You
I don't
need a success.
need-
You did.
I don't need a success for this move. I just need 2 light side things.
You need a success. Otherwise, there's no difficulty.
What?
The pips are that you generate enough force. The difficulty is that you actually successfully
need a success on top of it?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why there's difficulties.
Okay. All right, I will do this.
Okay.
And what does the upgrade do if I were to use that?
That will turn that green die into a
Mechanically?
yellow one.
Ah, okay. Okay. I will flip that.
That's exactly
Both
what
of
you
them.
need. You need 2
Yeah.
dark sides to do this.
Oh, do I? Oh, okay. Of course I would. Right. So how much conflict am I taking to do this?
Tell me what happens.
I think actually Rugo's speech of, there is light in the darkness as well, and then my mentor probably asking me a question of like, if it sort of is going to get the job done and everyone's going to be safe, is there a temptation? Probably just talking about, because I have to be careful because my mentor never actually stated anything to me. He was always posing questions to get me to think critically about the situation. But I think probably conversation pops up in my mind, and I realize in this moment that I'm in a temple for the Sith and that I don't need lights. And Rugo saying, trust in the light side, I think I just go, that's not the way through this puzzle. And I have always been trained to think outside the box and not go the traditional path. And I think I experiment a lot with my the way in which I will try to approach a problem or solve a problem. So the second I go, the answer is probably dark side. Then I can move it.